The Human Disease Ontology Project presents Searching the Human Disease Ontology website. The Human Disease Ontology is a community resource dedicated to improving the capture and communication of health-related data across biomedical databases, bioinformatic tools, and genomic and cancer resources. The standardized descriptions of human disease contributes to the effective dissemination of human health-related data, as well as providing the knowledge to study the multi-etiology of the diseases. The Human Disease Ontology website allows for the easy access of these data. The Disease Ontology website content can be explored by selecting any one of the drop-down menus. The website hosts a wealth of useful information, ranging from links to our GitHub repository to a collection of disease ontology-related publications, from a discussion of how the disease ontology is fair, that is, findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable, to a collection of disease ontology presentations. One can search for a disease term using the search bar or navigate the disease ontology trees. The disease ontology is graphically represented as both an oboe tree in the default view or as an owl tree. The advanced search box enables for more complex searching of the disease ontology's content, for example, definitions, cross-references, and synonyms. Simply put, oboe and owl are two different formats for data storage. Both formats enable browsing and searching of the content of the ontology. oboe stands for Open Biomedical Ontology. OWL stands for Web Ontology Language. In both cases, relationships between the terms are viewed as asserted ISA parent and child relationships. In both cases, diseases are classified based on their etiology. However, the OWL tree includes several ontology imports, including ontologies for cell type, anatomy, and symptoms. The imports define inferred disease parent to disease child term relationships. These imports further define relationships between disease terms based on their associated anatomical location, cell of origin, mode of inheritance, sequence structural variant type, symptoms, phenotypes, and/or environmental exposure. In both cases, we can view the definition of a disease term, its synonyms, and the clinical vocabulary cross-references. However, there are subtle differences between oboe and owl tree searches, which we will address in a later video. For the purpose of this tutorial, we will limit our searches to the owl tree. Let's search the owl tree by clicking on the View Owl Tree button. A basic search can be used to find a disease term, unique disease ontology ID or DOID, a disease synonym, or a cross-reference in the owl tree. Searching for carcinoma displays 692 results. Clicking on the top hit carcinoma reveals all the metadata associated with this term. The DOID entry shows us the unique disease ontology identifier, in this case DOID 305. Name is the name of the disease term for which we searched, that being carcinoma. The definition is a textual definition. XREFs displays a list of clinical vocabulary cross-references. Alternate IDs includes a list of unique disease ontology identifiers that have been merged into the current term. Subsets are lists of disease ontology SLIM files that include the term in question. Synonyms provides a list of alternate disease terms. Parent relationships lists the parent term, which in this case is cell type cancer. And finally, equivalent logical relationship defines that carcinoma is a cancer and derives from some epithelial cell. If we look at the tree to the left, we see that the graph is expanded to view the selected term. Traversing up the tree, we see that carcinoma is a cell-type cancer, which is a disease of cellular proliferation, which ultimately is a disease. Ontologies imported into the OWL tree can be searched to identify their associated disease in the disease ontology. For example, X-linked inheritance is a child of inheritance pattern, which stems from the imported genotype ontology GENO. Clicking on X-linked inheritance in the tree lists the disease terms that are annotated with a type of X-linked inheritance. The Disease Ontology website also offers advanced search options, which enables multifaceted queries. The Advanced Search drop-down menu provides options to choose from 7 metadata fields for creating searches, including name, synonym, definition, subset, DOID, alternate ID, and cross-reference. New fields are added to your search by selecting the Add New Field button, and selecting one of the Boolean operators and, or, and not. For example, one could examine the intersection of disease ontology records that contain both OMIM and NCI thesaurus cross-references, or explore related diseases with a shared anatomy, common cell of origin, or mode of inheritance. Let's try a quick advanced search using the term carcinoma. Add a new field and select definition and type in the anatomical term lung. Add a third field and select XREFs and type in the cross-reference UMLS. And finally, add a fourth field, select subset, and select the term NCI thesaurus. The search returns 10 matches, and we can explore each of these as we have done previously. The disease ontology and the OWL tree imports can also be browsed to examine related sets of disease. Hopefully, this quick overview covering how to conduct a search on the Human Disease Ontology website will provide you with an understanding of the available search tools. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please like and subscribe. This video is brought to you by Lynn Schrimmel and the Human Disease Ontology Project. Funding for this project is provided by the National Institutes of Health, National Human Genome Research Institute, grant number U41, HG008735-01A1.